Okay, hi everybody who is not there. This is gonna be Game of Thrones. Season 5, episode 3. I'm just in this live stream. Whoever's gonna be watching it, God knows probably nobody. You motherfuckers, why don't you watch my shit? Um, yeah, probably this is. I don't. For some days, I don't think I'm gonna be able to bring in people. Because if I bring in people, the only way I can do that is if I do them really early, like once the episode's finished. And that's problematic because if anybody watches this, I can't bring in anybody else because the only ones I could bring in is Joe Zorro, Zorro fanboy, but he doesn't do it until Mondays. So it becomes very difficult. I'm thinking actually, I don't know. It's very, very, very tough to do them on the Sunday because now that I have a job and everything. But I'm gonna wait a little while for the views to get in to people who are actually watching this instead of fucking around. I don't like my own shit. I don't care. So people come in to watch. Oh, so yeah, let's get into this. Okay, pretty much episode 3. Um, it was a clusterfuck. It really was. I mean, episode 2 really. I'll briefly state what happened in episode 2. Basically, Arya, she went to Bravos. She encountered the guy who she met, the guy who was killing everyone for her, and she went to the house with black and white door, and she got in. Pretty much what happened there. Then there was the thing at Castle Black. Um, Alistair, I believe that's his name, Alistair. He didn't get to be the commander, the new commander. Instead, it's going to be Jon Snow. That whole thing went down. I was like, yo. And you had Stannis basically during that part. He was going to Jon saying, "How would you like to be Jon Stark, the King of the North?" So, and here's the thing that gets me about. I'm really, I don't know. That's a next week when he sees this man. He said there's plenty of room for the banner of the Baratheons. I don't know, man. There's a strong possibility I might go with them in the series, the Stannis group, because if there's something with Jon, like in episode 3, it really got to me. There's this one scene, which I'll get into later, with Jon, and he's the new commander, and just the way he looks in this scene screams. It just screams Ned. Just screams Ned Stark. Well, also Rob, but really more Ned. And I was like, wow. And Stannis is seeing this, and he's thinking to himself, yeah. So, but let's get into this. And that's basically what happened with episode 2. Also, there was the thing with, you know, Daenerys, and she had to kill that god because he killed the witness. He killed the guy who came to her. He went out of his way and he killed the one that was going to be up for judgment, and she had to kill him. So she executed him, and then it was all hell breaking loose and whatnot. So and then there was the scene with the dragon. So really, nah. Also there was the thing with Dorne. We got to see Dorne. They basically have, Cersei's daughter, and it was pretty interesting episode 2. But episode 3, let's get into it. Let's talk about the North. Two sides about the North. Um, First of all, we have this thing with Sansa and Littlefinger, and Littlefinger basically stating that his proposal for a marriage has gone through. Now, my feelings about this is very morbid. I feel like, really? Basically, the suitor for Sansa is going to be Ramsay. Now, here's the thing that stuns me about it. It's so it's kind of weird in a way because the same episode where we have the thing about Sansa and Ramsay, we have Stannis. So you essentially have two separate people coming to a supposed Stark child and saying, "Hey, it's time for you to rule. Nettie boy's gone, your mother's gone. It's time for you to rule." Well, um, John, Catelyn wasn't John's mother, but it's like they came to them and say, "It's your time to stop being a bystander. It's your time to take back the North." And the thing with John, because I want to make a reference here, that between John and Sansa, John is being told by Stannis. Let's be honest here. He's being told by Baratheon, Stannis Baratheon, who is in a very good position to take the throne. While Bolton, see, the thing about Boltons is they're trying to use Sansa, use her name to take over the North. Stannis has backing. He has more backing than the Boltons do. So the way I see it, fuck the Boltons. Because I just don't see them. They're not in a position. They're trying to lean on Sansa to try to put the North back together. And here you have Stannis saying, "Hey, John, come with me. You'll be Jon Stark. You'll rule the North. We'll take out the Boltons." All this stuff. So there's a lot of interesting plot lines here between those two. And I wonder if they'll collide coming up. Should be very, very, very interesting. There was not basically what happened there. And then towards the end of the episode, we had that guy. Yo! And basically, towards the end of the episode, when Stannis mentioned this offer, he declined John. And that's when Stannis' right-hand man, I give him that title, I'm sorry. I like to call him that. Basically stating to him, the creed of the White Night Watch. Guard, shield to the realms of men. That creed saying that John is actually part of defending the realms of men, and he should take to consider that, keep that in mind, and basically telling him Stannis sees something in you. He sees something in you that he wouldn't see, otherwise. And I think moving forward, especially when you consider what happened in this episode with John, which we'll get into very soon, I think it makes even more sense. I mean, he just became the commander of the Night's Watch. I understand that. But the symbolism in this episode when it concerns John is so immense. It's so immense. It is so, it's in your face. And I can't see it otherwise, man. But basically, after that scenario, the guy who was, the not Alice, and that was funny. That guy, I forgot his name. The one that was up for to be the commander. Like, he was standing in front of the one who was part of the King's Guard at King's Landing. He's there in front of him, and he's like, he just slipped to the side, and he just took him. And basically, John, because he was supposed to go to this place, Grey Guard, I believe it was called Grey Guard, and he denied. He's like, no, you brat, I was defending King's Landing when you were in diapers. And John's like, take him outside. Give me my sword. I was like, yo, that was hype. And then when I saw John in the episode, and then you see him go to the gallows, and he put his head on that piece of wood, that guy. And I'm thinking to myself, he looks like Ned. And Stannis is over there, and he sees this, and he gives him a nod. I'm like, so the more I think about it, the more it makes sense. John should. But he's part of the king, he's part of the Night's Watch. And he's the commander now. So he feels like he's in that weird position, John. He's got to deal with the Night's Watch. But he's given this offer by Stannis saying, hey, how would you like to be the king of the North? How would you like to be the king of Winterfell? It all clicks. For me, anyway. I was totally blown by that. The other things that happened, and then there was a whole thing with Bolton and stuff. And with Sansa, and then there's this one part with Sansa that got me really low. She goes into this room, and then this woman's, saying, oh, hot bath and everything. And she's like, she leaves and she's like, the North remembers. She said that line, the North remembers. I was like, yeah. But with her situation, it's confusing because the thing is, she's not marrying Sir Bolton. She's marrying his son. She's marrying his son, Ramsay. Now, Ramsay's a... but he makes a promise to Milkfinger saying, I'll treat her well. And the thing is, if I was Ramsay's father, I'd have eyes in the back of my fucking head. You do not know that if Sansa just snaps right out of the woodwork. I mean, those are him, Frey. They're among the two that, But that happened. That pretty much what happened in the North. There was also Arya. She was getting, which was sad. I have to say this about Arya. That was pretty sad. What ends on happening is she has to become a no-name in order to start being where she's being with in that black and white door house. In order to become a no-name, she has to abandon everything that was her, that was Arya Stark. So abandon her clothes and everything, and then she's got Needle, and I'm like, oh fuck, that was so upsetting to me. And then she just puts it away in this little crevice where the rocks are. She puts it in there and covers it. And I was like, oh man. And she's basically doing she's not doing a lot of things. She's washing his dead guy or something. Now, that happened. The other things that happened, there were some major things at the end. The other areas we explored in this episode were the King's Landing. We didn't go to Dorne. We just went to King's Landing. Brienne, which was interesting. It was interesting to hear what her story was about that. And there was, the thing with Tyrion. I'm trying to remember if I'm forgetting anything. I don't think I am. I think those were the major, sorry about that, major plot points that were also. But King's Landing, basically what happened was, oh my God, this was so disrespectful. This was so disrespectful. We had a scene, obviously, with Marjorie and Tommen. That was so weird. They were having sex and shit. And he's like, did I hurt you? But he's a kid, so I guess it's expected. But there was this scene where in there with these friends, I guess, of Marjorie, um, they're giggling and shit, and like she says something to them and just leaves, and they're just laughing and laughing. I'm like, yo, how fucking disrespectful can you be? And then she leaves Cersei. Man, she was pissed. She was pissed at them. Fucking bitches. Like seriously, it was like fucking bitches. Because I mean, to be honest, like, she's not the queen anymore. She's the mother, queen mother, mother queen. Marjorie's the queen. So that's another thing. Also, in this episode of King's Landing, um, she made a letter to Littlefinger about the whole where he was, the Vale, or is he here, or is he there? She wanted to know, have a meeting with him about that. The other thing that happened in King's Landing that was, I think, really important was this thing with the High Sparrow. Now, this guy who was the priest, I think, at Marjorie and Tomlin's thing, he got attacked because he was at a brothel, and he got attacked by these people. And I think one of the people behind the Sparrows, I think they're called the Sparrows, they're like very religious and shit. And he got attacked by them. And they basically called him a sinner. I think Cersei's cousin is part of this group. And called him a sinner. They whipped him and was like, he had no clothes on. He's like, sinner, sinner. And he's walking all over fucking King's Landing. Fucking nude. That was so fucked up. And he wanted to execute the guy, the head guy of the group. And Cersei went there. The guy who plays him, I recognize him from some fucking movie, but I don't know which one. I think he was in like the first or second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie, but I'm not sure. But anyway, she meets up with this guy, and they have an interesting conversation about the whole bit, um, you know, something along the lines of you basically saying, "Oh, High Sparrow," that's like a different name of an animal or whatnot. Um, she basically talks to him about it, and she feels like that he's not going to get executed, so she leaves him be. All right, there was that, and that was pretty much what went down on King's Landing. Not a lot happened at King's Landing, but how disrespectful Marjorie's little girl clique was doing with Cersei. I was like, yo, that's fucked up. That was really fucked up. The other thing that happened, okay, Brienne. That was interesting. That was an interesting plot point. Brienne was talking to the squire about her time with Renly and how when she was a little girl and she went to this ball, the boys that were there, the men that were there, were making fun of her and cracking jokes and shit about that she was like a beast. And Renly came to her and danced with her and said, "Don't pay mind to them. Don't cry. They don't deserve your tears." I thought that was an interesting thing, that little story there. And it seems like she's on the road for vengeance on Stannis. So that was interesting. And finally, Tyrion. Oh, Tyrion, no! I mean, Tyrion, what are you doing, man? Gotta watch it. Gotta watch it. Tyrion's gotta watch it. But basically, him and Varys, they go to this town, which is on the road to Meereen. And you can see the slaves there, so they're close. They're close to Meereen. And the guy who Daenerys kicked out, he's there. He's at a brothel. But basically, where they're going, they're walking around and everything. And Tyrion realizes he sees this girl, this like Asian woman, and she's talking about Daenerys, Queen of Dragons, and everything. And then that's when they leave after hearing that, and to go to this brothel. And he's like hesitant, Tyrion, to go with this girl, this woman. And after that, basically goes and takes a piss, and that's when he shows up again. That guy, and his name eludes me. I know I remember it somewhere, but he was the one who got kicked out by Daenerys from her kingdom of Marine. He grabs Tyrion, and that's where the episode ends, and takes off with him. He says the Queen, so I'm guessing he's gonna bring him to Cersei, but I think that's all that happened. I might be missing a few things, but that's pretty much what went down in this episode. Um, what's interesting to note for the next week's episode is a lot of shit happens. The Sparrow, that becomes very important next week's episode. The High Sparrow and everything. We also get Dorne again. The one who was with Oberyn, she's like training some women. And I'm like, they're gonna go ham. They're gonna go in on that shit. Also, something I think having to do with King's Landing as well, but not too much. But that's especially what went down in this episode. Let me take a look if there's any comments. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna invite anyone, but you never know with these kinds of things. So oh, Austin Ross. What's up, man? All right. Let me just see. All right, let's fuck. Reload the page. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what's going down with this episode. Um, someone said next episode that comes to life it kills Arya. It's funny. Let's see what people are saying. Yeah, he is. He doesn't play, man. But I guess for the rest of this live stream, I'll talk about. I want to go into details about Jon. If he really does become the king of the North, I don't know. I'm hyped. I'm hyped. I'm hyped for that. Um, Especially if he joins Stannis. If Jon joins Stannis, I don't know. Maybe I got to join SMX wing on the Baratheon, the Baratheons. Don't get me wrong, I still like Targaryens, but the Baratheons, they're on the move. They're on the move. Stannis is on the move. But if Jon decides to do that, I do the symbolism in that scene, what he did, Jon, screams Ned. It does. I don't care what anyone says. It screams Ned Stark. And it really is amazing to see that. I think Stannis saw that. I think he saw that in that scene. Like, he needs to take the North. He needs to take the North. And that's what really made me go like, wow, amazing. Amazing to bring that out in this episode. And it's even more amazing to bring it out when you have at the same time you have Sansa with Ramsay, and they're talking about joining, and it's amazing that these two things are happening almost at the same time, and it really makes you go like, wow. By the way, note of word here. Next week, another show premieres. I think Anime Rick knows what I'm talking about. Yes, Penny Dreadful. Now, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna try to move these. I'm going to try my damnest to do these live streams at 10 o'clock. If I can do them at 10 o'clock, then I can start bringing in people. I can start inviting people. But like I said, it's hard because I can't bring in Rick because he hasn't seen it yet. Can't bring in MSMX Wing because he hasn't seen it yet. See, it's very, very complicated time zone differential. But what I could do is bring in anybody else who wants to join, who watches Game of Thrones and you want to come in and you want to just talk to me about it. Now we can just do that for an hour. Now, like I said, next week, Penny Dreadful. Penny Dreadful comes on at like 10. So I don't think I'm going to be able to watch Game of Thrones, do a live stream, and watch Penny Dreadful. That's not going to happen. I'm going to have to record it. But here's what's going to happen. Mondays, I will do Penny Dreadful. Yeah, Penny Dreadful is the shit. So look forward to that for starting next week and for the following coming up weeks. Yeah, that's pretty much the story with that. Now, Reds, Apple, Ale. It's good shit. But that's really all I have. So anybody got questions about the episode or for next week with Penny Dreadful or anything else in between? Oh, by the way, anyone who's wondering about first impressions, I will do first impressions on Friday. First impressions live stream on Friday. In fact, what I'll probably do is like Thursday, I'll watch some episodes. Also, I got to get back on my Bloodborne. I got to get back on that. So I'll probably do that during the week as well. Probably Wednesday. Give or take a few. So we'll see. We'll see. But anybody got questions? There's only one viewer, so I don't know how much questions you can give me. But anybody got something to say? You could say. Waiting approval. What the hell? Oh. East Blue Drew. Blue Drew has a powerful vagina. I'd be hooked to it. She hit me like that. Oh, she better watch out for Cersei. Awesome. I really hope they can change back to normal. Hopefully, and change. Huh. And save Sansa. Is my dude. Yep. All right. Oh wow, 5 likes. That's pretty good. Well, I liked one of them, so that's really just 4 likes. Oh man. I reviewed them already. So yeah, whoever's going to say whatnot, what have you. Come and say what you have to say. So we can continue this. But yeah, that's pretty much the story as far as this episode is concerned. Thanks a lot, East Blue Drew. That was pretty funny. Yeah, nothing else to state. I mean, this is kind of hard for me because like last season I was able to bring in people, and that was the only reason for that was because I wasn't working the way I was working. I mean, if I was working Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, then I could do what I said I was going to do. But because of I'm not, and I'm working 5 days a week, it becomes difficult. But I don't want viewers watching, so I'll wait a little while longer for someone to come in. More viewers. I got 2 viewers. So you got questions for Penny Dreadful, Game of Thrones, any anime related questions or what have you? Come and bring them in. Sorry I couldn't invite anyone. I mean, it's very difficult. I'll try next week, episode 4. I'll try to real hard to do it at 10 o'clock. And then I'll just I'll do it. Bring in some people. I'll bring in people early. Don't start right away. Bring in a few, whoever I can, and we'll talk Game of Thrones. Yeah. But until then, I'll just answer these questions if anyone has any. Still? Okay. So, but this has been um pretty good so far this season. I mean, we'll see how things go as we go along. Oh, there's that Magetsu. How you doing, Magetsu? Um, Magetsu. I think very soon, Magetsu, I might do that Bleach live stream as soon as things start really heating up. I look forward to that. Well, I'm just here. Answer all questions and stuff that you guys might have. And as far as people are probably wondering um about um why there was no Sakura Matsuri. The reason why, because first of all, Sakura Matsuri is not that very good, and second of all, everybody was doing their own thing. So I think by the end of May, which is coming up soon, which is like 2, 3, 4 days from now, the end of May, I mean though, or middle of May, me and the guys will do something. So well, we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Just looking at my phone. Uh, so let me check to see what the story is with the comment section. Anybody else got another comment? Let's see. Um, Pretty good question, East Blue, Drew. I really don't know, to be perfectly honest. Um, I don't think Arya um is going to do that. I mean, it's a possibility she might do that, but you know, oh, that's true, Julian. Yo, I did not even realize that. I did not even realize that. I didn't even realize that, Julian. That is funny. But like you know what's so fucked up? He looks at Littlefinger and says, "I'll take care of her. I won't hurt her." Like, you motherfucker, you've been like abusing and killing and cutting people's wieners off, and you've got the audacity to look at Peter Baelish, Littlefinger, and say, "I won't hurt her. Take good care of her." You bastard. But I mean, there's a possibility. I mean, listen, True Blue, I would love it if John returns to the North, returns to Winterfell, becomes a Stark by name, by Stannis. That would be amazing. That really would. Um, I don't think Arya's gonna lose herself. She might, but this is all so she can supposedly go into this training and take who needs to be taken. Basically, like Doc, Walter Frey, Cersei, all the people she wants to kill. So, but we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, thanks for the comments, guys. Thanks, Julian. That was I can't even believe I didn't notice that. That was like, yeah. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know what else I could say about this episode. Um, yeah, it was pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, last week was a little bit better because they had the whole thing about the horn. Um, but we'll see how. There's also the whole plot point with Jamie. He's going to Dorne to try to get um Cersei's daughter back, their daughter back. So see how that goes on. See another comment. East Blue Drew. It seems like they might be Blue Drew. East Blue Drew. I don't know, but it seems like they might be doing some training or recruiting some people to be part of this like force. Because I remember in the trailers there was a scene where there was like a Dorne soldier or Dorne woman, and she was like whipping somebody whose head was in the sand. But they're probably going to get crazy. The Dorns, I think. Not more tales to be more exact. They're going to go like seriously out for blood after what happened last season. And that one who was talking to Oberyn's brother, I believe she was the one who was there when he got his head crushed. Oh God. Oh my God. That was so fucked up. So fucked up. But yeah, it should be interesting. I hope they are too. All right, really nothing else to talk about. That's pretty much what the story was. Also, in the next week's episode, it seems like the Sparrow people they might be going after Marjorie because there's just one scene in the preview where they're all surrounding them. So I think what's going to go down is Cersei's going to use them to try to convict Marjorie of having a sin. So you don't fuck with the Mother Queen, bitch. So yeah, there's that as well. Yeah, nothing else to add. Yeah, people, you got comments or people. One person who's watching us, you got something to say? Go ahead and say it. Until then, I'm probably going to end this. Tomorrow night I'll probably be in Nostradamus' live stream, or I'll be in someone else's live stream, and I don't know if it's gonna be Game of Thrones. I might be just in Nostradamus' live stream. You can see me there. I'm all. By the way, I'm almost. I know people's like, "Oh God, you're gonna catch up to Toriko." Well, almost there. I have less. I have like 48, 49 chapters left. Nostradamus. Dumbass motherfucker. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much the story. Yeah, no one has nothing else to add. I don't see anyone commenting, so I think I might want to end this. Oh. So unless you guys have something to say to me, let's see what else we got. Julian and East Blue Drew. There's more than one, I think. Oh yeah, East Blue Drew. Yeah. Well, it's hard. Like I said before, it's hard. East Blue Drew. It's hard because obviously everyone has their own thing, and I can't because of the time difference. Because most of the people who review and watch Game of Thrones are on the West Coast. I'm talking Rick, SMX Wing. Well, he watches it. He doesn't. Um, Nick, Shot Red. Zoro's on the East Coast. I could bring in Joe Zoro, but Joe, he's like he wants to stay in the comment section. So, I mean, there's no one else I can invite. It's very hard. The old crew would be Rick and SMX Wing. Those are the two that are constant. I could bring in Justin, but then he's on the West Coast too. They're all on the West Coast. It becomes very problematic because it's a 3-hour difference. So when I get the episode at 9, they get it at trying to think. Yeah, they get it later. For mine, because them it would be 9 o'clock. But for me at 9, for them it's like 6. So I would have to wait like 3 or 4 hours. So I can't have them in until like 11. Not even 11. Wait. No, I would have to do it at 12, and I can't do that because I'm going to be. It's hard. Maybe I should move it to Mondays. But then again, I can't do it Mondays. Nostradamus. And then Zoro has his stream, so. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I can do something about that. There's more than one, I think. More than one. So, yeah, this has been good. Thanks, you guys, for joining. To the people who watched, who've commented, and everything, thanks for that. Should be interesting to see what happens in episode 4 down the road, also. And listen, I know a lot of people don't watch Pain Travel. It's the shit. It is the fucking shit, man. It is awesome. It really is. It's awesome. It's amazing. Go check it out. Okay, so yeah, this has been Bonkai 922 Game of Thrones, episode 3. Next week's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be something else. I can feel it. I can feel it from that preview. It's gonna be amazing. So yeah, I'm Bonkai 922. See you guys later. Unless there's another comment, I'm going to finish this off. Nope, I don't see any. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.